Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kyle, this is Kontour by Kyle. Today's tutorial is on the look that I'm wearing right now, and I used the Morphe 35k palette, which I just received. Kathleen Lights actually posted a video using this, and I just fell in love with it. It's got really beautiful shades, both warm and cool tone, and it's a mixture of mattes and shimmers. And I thought this was just perfect, a really basic, you can use this palette every day for different smoky eyes. So that's what I created. And then for the lower lash line, I used the Laura and Violet Voss collab, their palette, and I used the shade Smashly, which is this beautiful shimmery green. And I just had a lot of fun with it. I did a beige waterline, and I think that just really helps to open up your eye. And honestly, you can do it without the wing if you want it to be more subtle. You can change up the lower lash line. You can do a lot with this look. And then for the lips, I use Kathleen Lights and ColourPop's collab, their Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Alyssa, which again is just this really beautiful pink. Be sure to subscribe down below, give me a thumbs up, comment, say hi, whatever you want to do, and let's get started on this tutorial. First, I'm taking my Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer and I'm applying this all over my lid. Jumping into my Morphe 35k palette, I'm taking this warm, neutral, kind of beigey pink color on my Morphe E27, and I'm just going to be using that to set the eyeshadow primer. Next, I'm jumping into this neutral, almost like orange shade brown in the palette, and I'm just going to be using that as a transition color, also using my E27 brush from Morphe, doing windshield wiper motions through my crease and then circular motions on the outer corner just so it is all nice and blended. And then on my Morphe M514 brush, I'm taking this kind of pinky purple, really light, really beautiful matte shade, and that is just going directly into my crease using windshield wiper motions again. And then on my Morphe E36 pencil brush, I'm going to be taking this matte cool shade, cool toned brown, and I'm just going to be focusing that on my outer corner, my outer V, and then going back in with my big fluffy crease brush just to blend it out. I really want to pack on this brown, so I'm going to keep going back and forth from my pencil brush to that fluffy crease brush until I get the darkness that I want. Next, I'm taking this shimmery pinky white shade, and that's going to be on my Wet n Wild flat shader brush. And I'm just putting this all over the inner 3/4 of my lid, and then I'm going to be spraying some setting spray onto it just to kind of foil the shadow and to make it more intense. I really like using this technique because it really makes a cool effect on the eye. And then I'm just going back in with my crease brush just to make sure there are no harsh edges. And same with my pencil brush, taking that dark brown color and again making sure there are no harsh edges. And then I'm taking this matte white shade and I'm just using that to highlight my brow bone. For top eyeliner, I'm going to be using my Morphe Slate Potted Eyeliner and my Morphe M250-0 brush, and I'm just going to be making a wing. I sped this up because it takes a very long time to get a perfect wing, but this is kind of how I do it. I just draw a really thin line as close to my lash line on the top lid, and then from there I kind of wing it out with whatever product is left on my brush, so it kind of makes a really light outline, and you can make sure it's even, and then go back in and draw that connecting line, and then fill it in. For cleaning up the edges, my trick is I use a makeup wipe and I rub this angled brush all over it, and then I take it and kind of just clean up those edges. foundation, I'm using my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation in the shade Fair Light Neutral, and I'm just dotting this all over my face, and then I'm going to be applying some Farsali Rose Gold Elixir onto an overbrush that I got from a website called My Makeup Brush Set, and I will link that below. And then I'm just going to blend all of that foundation into my skin. I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in the shade Very Fair. And this I'm just putting on my dark circles and any other places I want to conceal. And then for highlight, I'm going to be taking my Tarte Tape Shape concealer in the shade Fair, and then I'm just going to be highlighting my face. I put the tape shape on the outer edges of where I put my concealer, between my eyebrows, down my nose, on the cupid's bow, and on my chin. And then I'm just taking a damp beauty blender. This is actually the Real Techniques complexion sponge, and I'm just blending that into my skin. Next, also using my damp beauty blender, I'm going to be using my RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm just going to be putting this on top of any places that I concealed or highlighted, just to set it. And then with my Wet n Wild powder brush, I'm just wiping away all of the excess powder. For blush, I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade 05 Luminoso on my e.l.f. blush brush. To cream highlight, I'm going to be using my Beauty For Real stick, and it has a blush and a glow, and the glow is called High Beam. I actually got this in my BoxyCharm. And then to layer on top of that, because it is glow season, I'm using my Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in the shade Sin, and I'm doing this with my Morphe M510 brush, and I really like layering a powder on top of a cream because it just makes it so much more intense. And then I'm just taking my Wet n Wild powder and just setting the rest of my face. For a pop of color on my lower lash line, I'm taking the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palette, taking the shade Smashly, which is this shimmery dark green, and I'm doing so on my Morphe E36 pencil brush. For my waterline, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Kohl crayon in the shade Calling Your Buff. Using a beige eyeliner on your waterline really helps to open up your eyes. And then I'm going to be curling my lashes and applying some mascara. Today I'm using my Wet n Wild Max Fanatic Cat Eye Mascara, which I love. It's super black and it's got kind of a really cool shape where you can really get that cat eye effect on your outer lashes. And then for my lower lash line, for mascara, as always, I'm using my Wet n Wild Megalength mascara. And then for lips, I'm going to be using Kathleen Lights and ColourPop's Collab. This is the Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Alyssa. I really like this for just an everyday color. It's like the perfect pinky nude. I just love it. It's so pretty, and I think it complements this eye look really well. And that completes this look. If you guys like it, please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!